Briers joins us. She is tracking Rafael. And Rachel, I know many people wondering, is this going to impact us here in Southeast Houston?
Luckily, it does look like it will stay south of the state of Texas at this point. It does look like it's going to make its way to the west as we head into the next few days. But yes, definitely wreaked havoc in the western portions of Cuba. Actually made landfall yesterday as a major Category 3 hurricane. It did weaken once it left Cuba down to a Cat 2, but it's still pretty strong with max winds of about 100 miles per hour. That's sustained winds. Its latest track has it moving to the west, eventually seeing it dissipate down or weaken down to a Cat 1 and then eventually down to a tropical storm. Now here's a look at the latest track. Most of our models trending it to the west and then a lot of them pushing it down to the south into the Bay of Campeche. That's what we are seeing here on most of our spaghetti models. There still are a few though that are still trying to send this into the central portions of the Gulf of Mexico. So we will watch for that. But the reason it's pushed to the west has to do with our steering current. We first off have this area of high pressure over Florida. That's steering it to the northwest. Then we also have this trough of low pressure pushing it to the east. The big player though here is this area of high pressure. That's what's helping to slow it down. And that should move up to the north just a bit. And that's what could help to push Rafael back down into the Bay of Campeche. Luckily for us, though, not anticipating any impacts. We'll take a closer look at what you can expect here in Southeast Texas through your weekend coming up.
All right, sounds good, Rachel. Thank you. Okay, let's check on the weather with meteorologist Rachel Briers. It is so humid outside. This morning, it was just, it kind of slaps you in the face almost.
It's pretty nasty. It was warm this morning. We started off in the mid-70s. It's humid. What we actually had was that cool front we had through roll in Monday and Tuesday, bringing in that line of showers and storms. That has now lifted back up to the north as a warm front. And so behind that warm front, we have one, warmer air, but also very muggy air. But the mugginess is due to the extra moisture in the air, and that will be aiding in some chances for rainfall. So we'll take a closer look at that in just a moment. Now heading into this weekend, Friday night going into Saturday, we will have another cool front roll in. Not really going to drop temperatures much. We have a more substantial cold front though coming into play as we head into midweek of next week, and that will hopefully make things feel a bit more like fall as we head into the second half of the end of next week. So let's talk about what's happening outside right now. It's 83 degrees. Our feels like temperature coming in at 88 degrees. So that's when you factor in the moisture in the air. Haven't had to do that for a while, unfortunately, or actually fortunately. Now we have to do it though because it is so warm and sticky. 82 degrees right now in Galveston. Our dew point right now coming in at about 76 degrees. So here's that front I was just talking about. This one is lifting up to the north as a warm front. We have warm temperatures right now coming in the low to mid 80s, but we also have a lot of moisture. And we can track our moisture by looking at the dew point. The higher the number, the more sticky it feels. So most of us in the low to mid 70s for our dew point. On our little legend we have over there, that is in the sultry category. So it is definitely warm. It is sticky. Now we will see a little drop in our dew point, and I do mean little, behind our first front that rolls in on Saturday, but then that humidity just bumps back up. But notice Wednesday we get a big old drop, and that is as that stronger cold front moves into Southeast Texas. Now with all the moisture that's in the air, I'm sure you're wondering, are we going to see a chance of rainfall for today? The answer to that is yes, there is a chance of rain in for today. Not an overly high one though. A few isolated rain showers will be a possibility, but right now most of our 13 alert radar coming in on the drier side. So let's break down the rest of your forecast today. High temperatures eventually going to rise back up into the mid to upper 80s. We're also going to leave in about a 20% chance of rain. So if you are going to be out and about, toss the umbrella in your car in case you have to use it. But most of us will be staying on the drier side. Then heading into Friday morning, isolated rain possible for the morning hours, becoming a bit more scattered into the afternoon. And then late Friday going into early Saturday, that's when we're anticipating our next front to roll in, and that could bring in a broken line of showers and storms. Behind that front, we could see slightly drier air moving in, so not all of Saturday looks to be like a washout at this point. 40% chance of rain, especially for the morning hours on Saturday, and then we start to see those rain chances spike again midweek of next week, and that's as our next cool front pushes in. But luckily, behind that cool front, it actually looks like drier and cooler air will be returning to Southeast Texas. So here's a look at the rest of your forecast. A few more chances of rain, warm and muggy as we head throughout your weekend, and then next week, there's our very, I would say, well-anticipated cold front next Wednesday, and that will hopefully drop our high temperatures back down into the upper 60s and low 70s.
Okay, counting down